In football, injuries emerge as an unwelcome consequence of a career devoted to the passion for the game, and countless promising careers have been prematurely stopped by injury, leaving young or even older athletes to deal with the reality that their career will either stop or will change dramatically. These narratives, though saddening, unfortunately happen very often in professional sports, and while some confront these challenges later in their careers, for others, they prove significant enough to stop their professional activities entirely. Let's take a look at some of the best players that had their career cut short by injuries.
Mason has a go! And hits the spot! And
Ryan Mason. Ryan Mason emerged from Tottenham's academy and made 70 appearances for the North London club between 2012 and 2016, winning one England cap in 2015. Sold to Hull City in 2017, the midfielder fractured his skull in a collision with Chelsea's Gary Cahill. He had 14 metal plates put into his skull, with 28 screws holding them in place, plus 45 staples. However, he was forced to retire in February 2018 due to the risks of playing professional football again at the age of just 27.
team comes down to Richards! Oh my goodness gracious me!
Micah Richards. Micah Richards progressed through Manchester City's youth system following stints at Leeds and Oldham, ultimately establishing himself as one of England's most gifted defenders. Achieving Premier League glory in the 2011-12 season, he also earned 13 caps for the English national team. However, his career was hindered by a persistent knee injury, leading to periods of absence. Despite subsequent endeavours at Fiorentina and Aston Villa, Richards made the difficult decision to retire from professional football in 2019 at the relatively young age of 31. But if you think Micah's case was sad, wait until you see the player who dedicated his entire career to one club but had to retire prematurely.
He's in. He doesn't miss.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer dedicated 11 seasons to Manchester United, etching his name into the hearts of fans with his legendary late goal in the 1999 Champions League final versus Bayern Munich. However, in 2007, Solskjaer faced a setback when he underwent minor knee surgery. Despite the operation's success, he never managed to regain full fitness. Consequently, in August of the same year, Solskjaer made the difficult decision to retire from professional football, drawing the curtains on his illustrious career. Pablo Aimar. Pablo Aimar is one of the most talented footballers produced by Argentina, and the midfielder was idolized by a young Lionel Messi. But unfortunately, his career was interrupted many times by injuries. The former Valencia, Zaragoza, and Benfica player finally announced his retirement in 2015 during his second spell at River Plate after struggling with injuries in pre-season, and he won 52 caps for Argentina. Sergio Aguero. One of the most recent cases like this is definitely Aguero. Sergio Aguero scored 260 goals in 390 appearances for Manchester City in a decade at the club, and left as a legend in 2021. The Argentina forward signed for Barcelona but would make only 5 appearances for the Catalan club, scoring 1 goal before he was forced to retire in December 2021 at the age of 33 due to a heart problem. Abu Diaby. Throughout his tenure at Arsenal spanning a decade, Abu Diaby was perpetually plagued by injuries, limiting him to an average of just 18 games per season. Despite his talent, the midfielder's career was marred by this persistent setback, and even though he earned 16 caps for France, his time at Marseille saw minimal action with only 5 appearances across 2 seasons. Unfortunately, Diaby's career was prematurely ended at the age of 32 due to ongoing injury concerns, culminating in a hiatus from professional play lasting over a year and a half. Alf-Inge Haaland. Better known these days as the father of one of the world's best footballers, Alf-Inge Haaland was a talented midfielder in the 1990s and early 2000s. Haaland won 34 caps for Norway and played for Nottingham Forest, Leeds and Manchester City. In a derby against Manchester United in 2001, he was caught by a vicious Roy Keane tackle on his right thigh, but actually retired in 2003 due to problems with his left leg at the age of 30, and he briefly came out of retirement to play in Norway's 3rd tier in 2011 before finally hanging up his boots in 2013. Ledley King. Ledley King, an iconic figure at Tottenham Hotspur, dedicated his entire career to the North London club. Regarded as one of the finest central defenders in Spurs history, King's talent extended to the international stage with 21 appearances for England. However, his career was marred by a chronic knee issue, severely limiting his playing time. And as his career progressed, the injury hindered him to the extent that he couldn't even participate in training sessions between matches, and despite his resilience, King was compelled to retire prematurely in 2012, an abrupt conclusion to his illustrious career at the age of 31. And if you thought this is sad, wait until later on, when we tell you about a player who even considered amputating his leg to stop the pain. Emmanuel Petit. Emmanuel Petit forged an unforgettable midfield alliance alongside Patrick Vieira at Arsenal, clinching the Premier League and FA Cup double in his debut season with the Gunners. Following this triumph, he further embellished his accolades by winning the World Cup with France that same summer, even scoring in the final as a substitute. However, his subsequent move to Barcelona in 2000 proved unsuccessful, and his return to England with Chelsea failed to recapture the glory of his initial stint in London. Petit's time at Chelsea was marred by a knee injury, resulting in his release after a mere 7 appearances in his final season. Regrettably, he never fully recovered from this setback, ultimately announcing his retirement from professional football in January 2005. David Silva. David Silva, an impressive midfielder, had an impressive 125 caps for Spain and contributed significantly to their triumphs in Euro 2008, Euro 2012, and the 2010 World Cup. Additionally, he enjoyed a successful decade-long tenure at Manchester City, leaving an indelible mark on the club. But despite his amazing time at City, Silva opted to continue his career by joining Real Sociedad, and displaying commendable prowess, he maintained a high level of performance with the Spanish club. However, Silva suffered a devastating anterior cruciate ligament injury in July 2023, and much to everyone's surprise, just 6 days following the injury, Silva made the difficult decision to retire from professional football at the age of 37, concluding a remarkable career marked by numerous awards and achievements. Brian Laudrup. One of Denmark's best ever players, Brian Laudrup had spells at some of Europe's biggest clubs, including Bayern Munich, Ajax, AC Milan, and Chelsea. The winger, younger brother of former Barcelona and Juventus star Michael, also spent 4 successful years at Rangers and won Euro 92 with Denmark. But he was sadly forced to retire from football at the age of 31 due to injuries. Laudrup's career ending was sad, but our last player on the list was on course to become the GOAT, but he had to retire at the age of 28. Gabriel Batistuta.
It's Batistuta! Oh, what a goal!
Gabriel Batistuta stands as one of the most esteemed strikers in football history. Holding the title of Argentina's top scorer until Lionel Messi surpassed him, Batigol showcased his prowess over 9 remarkable years at Fiorentina, securing a Serie A title with Roma and gracing both River Plate and Boca Juniors with his talent. Despite a storied career, Batistuta faced challenges toward the end, including a stint in Qatar and near returns to Boca Juniors and San Lorenzo. However, persistent ankle issues marred his twilight years, ultimately compelling him to retire. The pain became so unbearable that Batistuta contemplated extreme measures, even considering amputation. Fortunately, he underwent a less drastic procedure to alleviate the agony, sparing him from such a drastic decision and allowing him to find relief from his enduring suffering. Did you know about this? Let us know down below in the comments. Jack Wilshere. Former Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger once lauded Jack Wilshere for his Spanish technique and English heart, endearing him to fans as a cherished midfielder for the Gunners. With nearly 200 appearances for the North London club and 34 caps for England, Wilshere's career was marked by flashes of brilliance. However, his journey was marred by recurrent injuries that disrupted his progress. Despite valiant efforts, Wilshere was forced to retire in 2022 at the relatively young age of 30. Following his departure from Arsenal, he embarked on brief stints at West Ham, Bournemouth, and Danish side Aarhus, seeking to revive his career amidst the challenges posed by his physical setbacks. Carles Puyol. Carles Puyol exemplified unwavering commitment and fearlessness every time he graced the football pitch, whether representing Barcelona or Spain. However, the toll of his courageous displays eventually caught up with the resilient centre-back. Despite expressing a desire to continue playing until the age of 40, Puyol's aspirations were thwarted by a persistent Achilles problem, prompting the conclusion of his illustrious career in 2014. With a staggering tally of 36 injuries and numerous knee surgeries endured throughout his journey, the World Cup champion bid farewell to professional football at the age of 36, leaving behind a legacy of bravery and dedication that will forever be cherished. Uli Hoeneß. Uli Hoeneß, celebrated for his triumphant tenure with Bayern Munich, clinching 3 Bundesliga titles and 3 European Cups, faced a pivotal setback following a brutal challenge from Leeds United's Frank Gray during the 1975 final. This incident inflicted a severe injury to Hoeneß's right knee, hindering his subsequent performance on the field. Despite enduring relentless efforts to recover, he never regained full strength, ultimately prompting his premature retirement at the tender age of 27. However, Hoeneß's association with Bayern Munich did not conclude with his playing days. Remarkably, he transitioned into a new role, dedicating 40 years of service to the club's board, initially as a general manager and later ascending to the esteemed position of club president, leaving an indelible mark on Bayern's illustrious history both on and off the pitch. Marco van Basten. And we must end with probably the best player on this list, Marco van Basten. A legend at Ajax and AC Milan, Marco van Basten is a 3-time Ballon d'Or winner and a European champion with the Netherlands. Considered one of the best strikers of all time, Van Basten scored 283 club goals and a further 24 for the Netherlands. The Dutch forward played his last game at the age of 28 and was forced to retire 2 years later after failing to recover from a serious ankle injury, marking the unfortunate end of a career that could have been even more amazing than what it was. Football is a very cruel sport. It can be so beautiful but also so sad, as we've seen with the careers of these players. So that's going to do it for this video. Did you know about any of these players, or did you just find out? Let us know down in the comments below and tell us if we missed any players. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.